When did you realize you were bisexual, and what made you realize it? Attractiveness is attractive woman with medium skin tone shrugging couldn't tell you when cause it was probably the same time I noticed boys. I found this one friend of mine cute, and slowly over time I started looking at guys during my alone time. It basically just hit me one day that I might be bi. I thought about for like maybe 5 seconds before thinking, nifty, and that was about it. I realized I was bi when I realized I was staring at the cute guys in the gym just as much as I was the cute girls. This was like 7 years ago. Yusu Night. When I had a fat cock in my ass and it felt decent. Yusu Naito. While contemplating the vast spectrum of ice cream flavors, I realized my taste buds weren't limited to just vanilla or chocolate. The same principle applied to my attractions, and voila, bisexual enlightenment struck. When I was a small child, I was a bit flamboyant, and it caused me to have some traumas by very religious family members who would hit me for doing things they perceived as wrong. I spent a lot of time thinking there was something wrong with me. I was just a kid being a kid. In my early years I mostly had little crushes or normal childhood interests in women girls my age, but a few confusing thoughts about guys. But by my early teens, I became more curious about other guys. I had a few interactions that were just boys being weird boys in my later, pre-teen/teen years, but nothing outright sexual. But they made me feel a type of way. I actually died and realized gay people existed to the extent they do. Of course I knew what it was, but thought at most maybe a dozen couples in the whole state. It wasn't until my early 20s I started working it out. I found people who were in the queer community, and I was astonished how many people there were. I had my first boyfriends around the same time, but also had a girlfriend or two in the mix, which at first confused the hell out of me. I thought I was straight, then I thought I was gay, then I thought I was straight again. But lo and behold, I caught feelings for another guy after the last breakup, so I'm gay again? WTF is my life. I later discovered bisexuality and it felt most fitting. I didn't care. Genuinely. Guy girl, it's the connection. At a local bar I met a beautiful woman who I started seeing. She soon disclosed to me she was trans, MTF, before anything physical happened between us. It was something new to me, but I thought, what the hell, I like her, she's funny, she makes me smile, and we dated for some time as well. She actually was incredibly knowledgeable on the LGBTQ community as a whole and gave me great resources to have not only answers to things I frankly just winged and thought it is what it is, but also I made a lot of queer friends of multiple identities and experiences. We did break up, but nothing to do with her being trans. We still occasionally talk. Now I don't so much identify as bisexual as I do just blankly queer. I don't care about parts, I care about hearts, and honestly it's the best I've felt about myself ever. I still have challenges I face in life, but overall I feel good. The only qualms are hate I did and still do experience, particularly in politics and a few isolated incidents. It's a shame it took me so long to figure it out. And I do have trauma from my youth of unacceptance for just expressing myself as who I was, including bullying from peers for just saying things that made sense to me but not to others. And it confused me, like why I feel this way and am being told it's weird or bad, even up to a few incidents of physical altercations, which made it all so much harder and more painful. All that trauma would never change who I was, it would just cause more heartache. Which is why even to this day, though it's better, can never understand anti-LGBTQ hate, lack of resources and lack of education. At best, all of the hate, bullying and punishments only delay the inevitable, but leave lasting trauma. But in the end, nothing was wrong with me. I am just a queer man. And it sadly needs to be said, 'cause there are young people today who were like me when I was young who need to hear that there is nothing wrong with you. and there is nothing wrong with being LGBTQ queer. Realize or accept the reality? If I'm honest with myself in looking back, I'd say realize about age 30, accept the reality only in the past 5 years, and I'm 58. When I was 5 and when I played house, I would be the husband Maui. Watching Leonardo DiCaprio in Romeo and Juliet thing and thinking how I would be with him over women. Probably the first time I went down on a girl wall. A lucid dream. Plus I had crushed on Kristen Stewart. I found her awkwardness cute in Twilight, grinning face with smiling eyes and sweat drop. When I was a young teen and couldn't decide if I loved Link or Zelda more. When I was around 12 I had crushes on multiple celebrities regardless of gender. Then I noticed that my friends don't, at least not like me. They had crushes on people opposite gender than they were. That was the first time I realized that maybe I wasn't only hetero. Yusu Unite. I didn't realize yet, but I'll let you know. Those fucking femboys did me dirty. I could have realized it when I was 12 and in love with a boy, but I realized it around 25 when I decided to install Grindr Face with tears of joy. Having been curious about the possibility I might be bisexual since my mid-20s after an incident with family friend, I finally got the chance to find out one way or the other when my daughter left home when I was 55. After she left I joined a gay bisexual dating site and met a guy from it, having explained to him why I joined the site. We met at my place, and I have written in detail about what happened between us on other Quora pages, but suffice to say that after what we did together when he left I knew I was bisexual, as I knew he wouldn't be the last man I'd meet for sex. My life changed because I became more relaxed, having found my true sexuality at last, having thought I was straight but curious for years.